now tell me about the character Flora that you're playing, because the history of this obviously was Liza Minnelli, her Broadway debut in this role.
Yes.
I mean, what does it feel like sort of taking on this show? And tell me a little bit about the character.
This was Liza. This show, this part put Liza on the map, and she won a Tony for it. And it's a great character. She's really plucky and really, as soon as she walks into a room, everyone's affected by her immediately. She's very much a people person. She's very positive. She's handed a bad situation and she makes it good. And as far as, it being a Liza role, I think I intentionally didn't listen to recordings of her do it because I didn't want to put pressure on myself to try and recreate something that I could never recreate. But at the same time, it's what's in my favor is it was a short-lived show so long ago that not a lot of people know it or have seen it. So I don't know how many comparisons are going to be made. I hope not too many. But I definitely am trying to keep the spirit of Liza because she's so infectious in everything that she's in, every movie or everything you see her in. So I've tried to keep that spirit amongst the character and the show a little bit.
Plus she can cook.
But she can cook.
Don't overlook.
Don't overlook.
No other goulash can come close. Plus she's a triple threat. You ain't seen nothing yet till you have missed Miss Meszaros.
The kid herself
Who can that be?
has so much poise.
They must be me.
On her a Persian lamb looks sable.
Sable.
The Prince of Wales,
Who, him?
whom she destroys.
The story is about a young woman, the title character, who falls in love with a guy, me, Harry, and they meet trying to get a job. It takes place during the Depression, and so the sort of the harsh economic realities of that time are very much part of the backdrop of the show. And he's very politically active. He's a member of the Communist Party, and he sees in her a kindred spirit whom he would like to recruit into that, and eventually does. And the story really is about their relationship and the tensions that can be created between your political beliefs and your convictions about that, and your personal needs and desires, and about the tension between the rights of the individual versus the sort of needs of the community. And you'll have to come see the show to find out what happens to them. But it's actually quite serious material for a musical, and one of the wonderful things about it is that it manages to be lighthearted when it needs to be, and funny, and Megan Lawrence, of course, is in it and was a couple incredible numbers, but yet serious as well in ways that I think people will find surprising.
It's kind of a group of actors, in the Depression with the Federal Theater Project that are putting on this show. And, I don't know if you can see our set back there, but it's very bare. And but the story is just about Flora and a man she meets who Mano plays, Harry Tukarian, and it's kind of Communist Party threads in there, and it's just really about this little family that Flora creates for herself, and this group of misfits that she all brings together. And it's a love story. It's got a little heartbreaking ending, and it's a very charming, really cute show, and it's very different for both Mano and I, because we're both, we've done, for the most part, more contemporary stuff. So this is the first time that both of us have done a classic musical comedy, which is it's been fun. It's been really fun.
The rights of man, democracy, then it's clear, you're a communist, sign here. The wind of change is blowing, the tide is rolling in, and we've a richer, riper, fresher, finer world to win.
Well, talk to me a little bit about the music, because this was Kander and Ebb's first collaboration, and obviously they have a lot of shows under their belt after this. So what's the sound of Flora?
It is. I would say it's distilled Kander and Ebb, and it's really interesting because the first Broadway show I did was the revival of Cabaret that they did 10 years ago, and just before I came out here, I did a workshop of the last musical that they were working on before Mr. Ed passed, which was The Visit. So to go from the sort of mature late master period Candor and Ebb to Flora, which is their first effort, and it's so full of energy, and you can see this raw talent in there, and already there are, there's the unmistakable catchy melodic tunes that John is able to write, and those grooves and those vamps that just sort of get in your body and make you want to move. And then, some of these lyrics that that you just know are gonna stick in your mind for a long time. Because Fred was one of the great lyricists that we ever had. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to see, as a songwriter myself, it's really, really gratifying for me to see where they were, when they first sort of started out, and then compared to where they ended up, just by working and refining and improving their craft as they work together.
It's very, to be honest with you, it's very Candor and Ebb. And like when I first heard it and we were first learning it, it's funny because you can start to see how their style developed in other shows from this one. This is the cute, charming, like maybe the Pineapple Song in Cabaret. This is how this fits into the show. And so you can totally see their style and how it just grew from this one. And it's, it's old, classic. It's really great.
You must do much more, you must go on, forever playing your part, you must do more. You must do much more, until you've lit the flame in every single heart. You must do more, you must do much more, you must go on, forever playing your part, you must do more. You must do much more, until you've lit the flame in every single heart.
We must do much more, we must go on.
New York sort of has the encores thing, and this is like the LA version. What's it like doing a show so quick?
It's a baptism by fire. You just get thrown to the wolves, and it's a sink or swim. Not to mix too many of my metaphors to start off with, but last year Jason Alexander directed Sunday in the Park, and he had Kelly O'Hara and I fly out a week early just to begin work on our own, sort of unpaid, because it was such a mammoth undertaking, and you really have to do quite a bit of work beforehand on your own, because these are full productions. They really are. You can call them something else, but people are off book. It's fully staged, fully lit, costumed. It's a production. So to do that kind of thing in 10 days requires a lot of work and a very, very talented cast and production team, both of which we have.
It's funny because usually you have like a month, maybe a month and a half, and then an open-ended run to really live as that person. And I kind of feel like maybe by the time we close, I'm going to be a little disappointed because I'm like, oh, I just was feeling right with it, But that's the whole process, and everyone knows that's how reprises and encores as well. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting process. I've never done something this fast before.
When faced with the fabulous fact, we must make the most of the moment that's here, on account of it's not every day of the week.
And honestly, not every week of the month.
And certainly not every month of the year.
Well, now this also sort of is a reunion for you and Eden in a sense, because you guys were in Brooklyn together. What's it like working with her again?
Oh, it's a pleasure, and she was actually, a big reason I wanted to come out here and do this, because I loved her in the role in Brooklyn, and I loved her as a person. And then, when I was doing Sweeney, she came and guest soloed with me at a couple of my pop gigs. We did a Mariah Carey tune together, which was really fun, and I just adore her. So the chance to work with her, and especially on this kind of material, which is maybe not necessarily where either one of us have sort of made our mark, I thought would be really, really fun, and it's turned out to be even more fun than I expected. So
Mano and I were in Brooklyn together, and he was an understudy for Taylor Collins, which meant he was my dad. Probably a little too young to be playing my father. And he only went on like a couple times before he left the show to do a play. So as soon as I found out that we were doing this together, we were both very excited to be able to play opposite one another. He's brilliant.
They can bleed, they can braid, but they cannot take away what is me. All right, so not a lamb, but I am what I am. I am me. I am me. I am not someone else. Someone else is someone else. I am me.
You're now going to Rent for the last sort of run of the show.
I am. They asked me a little over a month ago, and I was supposed to go in when Will's going in this week, but I was already committed to Flora and already done press and everything for that, so I didn't want to back out or anything like that. And they decided to wait for me and let me come in later, which is fabulous. And I'm really, really excited to be joining the closing company. It's my first Broadway show I ever saw, so it's kind of it's going to be a good summer. Yeah.
And now you just also recently finished your run in Wicked here in LA. What's that whole experience been like? Because that really was your Broadway debut in New York, and then you come out here in LA. You were with the show for quite a long time, and now you're sort of done with it.
Yeah, it's been I had an amazing journey with the show. It was, 4 years on and off, and I'm from Southern California originally, so bringing it here and having friends and family being able to come was amazing, and it's still very much a part of my life. I think it's always going to be.
The shore meets sun is shining